Hi everyone, hope you're doing good. This video I'm going to be going through my metal genre ranking tier list thing. It's a video that I wanted to do for quite a long time, since I started YouTube, to be honest. It was one of the earliest ideas that I had, but over recent times I've sort of found that this might be the right time to make this video, mainly because of the glam metal video, and I got some requests asking like whether to talk about other metal genres that I don't like, and I just thought, I've had this idea for ages, I might as well just go with it and do it now. So yeah, this video is going to be subjective on many fronts. Firstly, taste in metal music, and also what classes as like the main subgenres, because that's how I'm going to do this video. I've picked what I think are the main subgenres in metal. I'm not going too much into like subgenres. I just picked what I thought was the main subgenres and ranking them from my least favourite to my favourite. And also we'll be doing it in a sort of a tier list system. But before we get into it, if you're new and you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to my channel for more guitar and rock and metal music content. Please share with anyone who you think would be interested in my content and would like it. All feedback and comments are much appreciated, and thanks to everyone who's subscribed already. Really appreciate it. We're still on the road to 200 subscribers. The day that I'm filming this, I'm actually on 199, so we're getting close. We're getting really close, and when we get there I'll do a contest. So without any further ado, let's just get straight into this video. So as I just said, the genres that I've picked might not be what everyone would pick as the main subgenres. There's like some genres within the subgenres that I've grouped together here just to keep it simpler, because then there'll be like 20-30 genres, and I didn't want to do that. I wanted to keep it at around 15-16. So yeah, if there's any genres I've missed, then I just don't class it as a main subgenre, such as like thrash metal, death metal, doom metal, etc. And yeah, I've done it in a tier list system, but it's not really a tier list, but it sort of is. Like the first genres are going to be grouped together. They would sort of be at the bottom that I don't like, and then there'll be a couple in the middle that I haven't really listened to that much, and I'm on the fence about. And then there'll be another sort of a tier list with some genres that I do like but I haven't listened to enough, and then obviously the top tier be my favourite ones. So anyway, let's just get straight into it, and let's start with at number 16 I've got nu metal, and this is by far the genre that I hate the most out of all the metal genres. I just hate the fact that it's just got rap and hip hop in it. I just hate all that crap anyway. So that in metal just is a massive no for me. And I blame Anthrax. I blame you, Anthrax, for that. Bring the Noise and that other one they did, I'm the Man. Nah, it ruined metal after that, because then they started incorporating more of that crap. And then nu metal happened, and that was it. It was over after that. But yeah, I can't say there's a single band that I like that play nu metal. And all the nu metal albums that I've listened to, I've not liked. Even the Slipknot, and I wouldn't even class Slipknot as a nu metal band. The first album was nu metal, and then they sort of moved away from it because, yeah, I don't know. But even that album I don't like. So yeah, it's just something that I just don't find very interesting. I just think it's a bit generic and a bit boring, a bit gimmicky, and it's not for me. So the next one that I've got is glam metal, and I'm not going to go too big into this one because I've done a whole video on it. But yeah, I just don't like the choruses. I don't like what it stands for. You know, the whole gimmick around glam metal, the whole popularity thing. Some of the guitar playing is cool, and I like some of the bands that are sort of more on the hard rock side rather than the glam side, but overall it's not a genre for me. The next one that I'm going to go with is alternative metal, and for some people this might not even count, or it might not even class as a main genre, but for me it does because it's quite popular in the 2000s, late 90s. So yeah, it's just a genre for me that I just can't really get into. It's never really clicked with me. I'm the same with like alternative rock. All that stuff, it's just not my thing. They don't really play guitar solos, which is a big downer for me. And a lot of the songwriting is just a bit bland and a bit sort of too commercially pop for me, and I don't like it. Next one I've got is power metal, and this one will annoy a lot of people, but I just don't like it. I hate the vocals. For me, it just, a lot of power metal just sounds like stuff you get on the Eurovision Song Contest, and I hate that bloody crap as well. So, you know, the fact that it sounds like that really puts me off. I don't like that it's upbeat and happy. I don't really listen to that kind of stuff. I don't know. It kind of leans into the symphonic metal a little bit as well, and that sort of epic metal, which I'm not really all that fussed about. I don't know. The guitar playing is pretty good. A lot of the guitar solos are really cool, but just everything else about it I just can't stand. I just can't listen to it. Next one on my list, I've got doom metal, and this is another one that I just can't really get into. I just find it pretty dull and boring. It doesn't really do a lot for me. I find that the vocals are not very good as well. I don't know. The deformative genres from doom metal, like death doom and stoner sludge and even gothic metal, it just doesn't really do a lot for me. I'm not really that interested in them genres too much. I don't know. I guess there's some death doom that's okay, but it's not really something that I've delved too much into. Black Sabbath are sort of like the main doom metal band, or the band that created doom metal. And they're alright, but I don't really listen to Black Sabbath all that much. I don't know. It's just a genre that I haven't really listened to that much, but when I do, I sort of just come away a bit underwhelmed, really. The last genre in the bottom tier for me is symphonic metal, and again, as I said before, it sounds very similar to power metal, even though it is a little bit different, but it's sort of got that epicness about it, like power metal. I'm not a fan of the operatic vocals. Sometimes there's very, very little guitar in it. It's mainly on the orchestration and the actual, you know, the symphony side, and not really that much on the actual metal side, which kind of makes me question whether it's even really a metal genre or not. But people that are into symphonic metal will probably tell me wrong there. But yeah, I don't know, I just don't think it's something that I can really get into. Although a sort of a form of this genre would be neoclassical metal that I really do enjoy, but that's a bit more guitar driven than like the actual orchestral driven. And to be fair, I do enjoy a lot of classical music, and I do like it in a lot of other metal genres. They put elements of it in there, which is cool, but this genre is just difficult for me to get into and enjoy, really. So the next couple of genres are going to be in that next tier that is sort of in the middle. I don't like or dislike it. I've just not listened to it enough or at all, and the positions could change in the future when I get to them more. So in number 10 I've got grindcore, and to be honest I wasn't really sure whether to put this in on its own or not, but in the end I did, because it is a little bit different to death metal. It's like extreme metal with, it's like extreme metal, hardcore punk kind of thing. Yeah, I just haven't really listened to it enough to make a full judgment on it. You know, what I've listened to, like Napalm Death, I didn't really like it that much. I found it a little bit too mad, or just too strange for me to really get into it. I don't know, it's just, I think it's one of them genres where when it clicks, and if it doesn't click, then you just can't get into it. But I know like the early Carcass and Bolt Thrower are in the grindcore sort of death grindy thing, so I would like to check them out. But for me, it's just like a load of crazy noise, and the vocals are a bit mad. But maybe in the future it might go up a little bit more when I've listened to it a bit more. And the next one that I've got, I kind of put these two together, even though they're a little bit different, but they're sort of similar at the same time. And that's Avant-Garde metal and industrial metal. And yeah, I haven't really listened to each of these genres. So I've just put them slap bang in the middle for now. And again, they're just a little bit strange to me, these genres. They're a little bit unorthodox. They might be a little bit too weird for me to get into, I don't know, but I know like bands like Fear Factory have got a lot of industrial elements in there, and Meshuggah have got a lot of like avant-garde, progressive stuff in their music. So I don't know, I haven't listened to any of them bands, so I don't know, them bands might change my thoughts on these genres. Although you have bands like Rammstein who are a bit more like avant-garde and very weird and different. So yeah, I'm not sure. It's just them two genres are genres that I haven't given any time to, and I'm not sure whether I would like them or not, to be honest. And last one for this tier, in 8th place, I've got black metal, and yeah, I just haven't listened to it enough, but what I have listened to, I have actually quite liked it. There's a lot of the classic bands that I would like to get into and listen to and try out, and I can see this in a few years' time definitely moving up the leaderboard. I'm not sure where, but it could definitely move maybe into the top 5 one day, I don't know, but we'll see. There's a lot of deformative genres that a lot of people probably would think it would be a standalone thing, like the Viking metal or the folk metal or whatever. A lot of those genres I'm not 100% sure if I'd be into, like the atmospheric stuff or the symphonic stuff. It depends really. You know, I haven't even gotten into the main black metal bands, so I don't know. I think all that stuff probably should leave it for now, and before I delve into it too much. But yeah, black and death metal stuff is pretty cool. I like Behemoth. I've listened to little bits of some black metal, and I thought it was pretty cool. So yeah, I think it's just here for now because I haven't listened to it enough, but in the future it might definitely move up. So these next couple of genres are going to be in that sort of second tier that I like them but haven't listened to enough of them. And in number 7 I've got heavy metal, traditional, where it all began. And yeah, I do really like this genre. It's, you know, it's where metal started. I really enjoyed bands like Iron Maiden, Ozzy Osbourne, a bit of Venom, a bit of Motorhead, and Avenged Sevenfold. They're sort of a bit more of a modern heavy metal band, but still they play like old school metal in a way, but with a modern twist. Yeah, I just really like this genre. I think the guitar solos are pretty cool. Yeah, the new wave British heavy metal is pretty cool. The deformative genre, sort of speed metal, I haven't really gotten into that much. Some people probably would put speed metal in as a main genre, but I chose to leave it out, just because it sort of crosses over with heavy metal and thrash metal. It's sort of, but yeah. However, there are some of the vocal styles that I don't like. You know, a lot of the high soaring vocals like Dio and Halford and them kind of bands, like Accept as well, I'm not really that into. Saxon I've never listened to, so I've no idea what they're like, but overall heavy metal is pretty good. And the last one for this tier would be progressive metal. This is another one that I really do enjoy, but I need to listen to more. I love the technicality and the heaviness of it as well. It's just the most interesting metal genre for me because of just how many other genres and other things it puts into the music. You know, I think the vocals are really good as well. Gent I haven't really gotten into much. It's sort of like the evolution of progressive metal, and yeah, I just haven't really gotten into that too much. But then you've got stuff like progressive death metal, which is really cool. I really enjoy Pestilence. They're sort of like one of the main progressive death metal bands. Same with like Opeth as well. They do a lot of like progressive death, black metal stuff, which is really cool. Mastodon are probably my favourite progressive metal band. I don't mind a bit of Tool as well, it's pretty cool. Dream Theater are the only ones, the big ones that I haven't really gotten into that much, but I really need to check them out. So now we got to the top 5, and these genres would all be in my top tier, my favourite metal genres. So starting off at number 5, I've got deathcore. I really enjoy deathcore. I know some people probably wouldn't even put deathcore in this, but I think it deservedly in the main metal genres list. I think it's heavy, it's brutal, it's awesome, really great. I don't know, it just really clicked with me. The bands that I've gotten into, like Suicide Silence and Whitechapel, Carnifex, Die Artist Murder, them bands are probably the top tier deathcore bands, really, I would say. I much prefer the deathy deathcore bands rather than the core deathcore bands, if that makes sense. The bands that are more death metal than core, let's say. But yeah, speaking of core, number 4 I've got metalcore, and yeah, everyone who knows me knows that I absolutely love the 2000s metalcore stuff like Bullet for My Valentine, Parkway Drive, the early stuff, Killswitch Engage, As I Lay Dying, and the Trivium stuff, even though I wouldn't really class them as a proper metalcore band, but they have done a couple of metalcore albums. And also, as you know, I'm not a fan of the modern metalcore. I did a whole video on that, going why I don't really like the state of metalcore today. But back in the day, in the 2000s, it basically had everything that I love about metal all in one. It had like the brutality, it had the groove, it had the heavy riffs, the awesome vocals that sort of mix between harsh and clean vocals, really cool choruses as well. It literally mixed almost every metal genre that had been all in one, and then a little bit more as well. It's just, I don't know, I just really love this genre, and yeah, I really do think that it's probably one of the best metal genres, especially to get people into more extreme metal. Metalcore is really good place to start, really. In third place, I've got groove metal, and yeah, this is a genre that's, I think, a little bit underrated, maybe because of its popularity. but I think it's a lot better than what come after this, which was the whole nu metal crap. But yeah, I like groove metal because it does have a lot of thrashy moments, which I really do enjoy. The groovy style riffing is just, you know, it really hooks you as well, which I think is really cool. Drumming is really great. The vocals are really cool. Bands that I really enjoy from this genre include Pantera, some of the Machine Head albums, Lamb of God as well, really cool. Sepultura groove metal albums like Chaos AD and some of their later work, really cool as well. I really enjoy this genre. Number 2, I've got death metal, and this one has really shot up in recent years since I started to get into it, and I started to love it more and more, and now it's one of my favourites. Obviously it's number 2. It's just really clicked with me, and I just love how like all the different death metal bands sort of have their own different interpretation of what death metal is. I think that's just really cool. There's no real formula for it. I think that's what makes it quite unique and different. Yeah, everything about the genre is just so cool. Like the riffing, the drumming, the vocals, everything. It's just brutal and wicked. I haven't really got into too much of the deformative genres like melodic death metal, technical death metal, death doom, and death grindcore, all that stuff. I haven't really gotten into them too much, apart from for melodic death metal at the Gates I've listened to a little bit. I think they're pretty cool. Yeah, it's just a genre that I really do enjoy. I love bands such as Cannibal Corpse, Death, Obituary, Carcass, Bolt Thrower, Morbid Angel, etc. They're all brilliant. And number 1 for me, it won't come as a surprise if you know me and you know what's left really. It's thrash metal. It had to be thrash metal. It always will be thrash metal. You know, it's the genre that really got me into metal, with bands like Metallica and Megadeth. That really just fits with me and my style the most out of any metal genre really. Yeah, I just love everything about it. I just love the fast tempos, the riffs, the guitar solos, different varied like vocal styles as well. I just think it's really awesome. I haven't really gotten into too much of like the other deformative genres like crossover thrash, speed metal, that I would count as the genres from this. I haven't really gotten into them too much, but over time I probably will at some point. And yeah, my favourite bands from here include Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer, Exodus, Testament, Death Angel, Havoc and Evil, and there's still a whole load more that I want to get into, and I definitely will do. So that was my metal genre tier list. I'd love to know what you thought of my list, whether you agree, disagree. How would your ranking be? Would you add any genres, take any genres out from what I've done? Would be really awesome to make this a thread of some sort, or maybe like do a proper tier list video or whatever. I think that'd be really cool. I've got other videos similar to this lined up. I want to do a rock genre ranking. I think that'd be quite interesting, and also an all music genre ranking, so going more into other, obviously all the other music styles that there is, among other videos that are going to be coming out over the next foreseeable future. And yeah, if you got this far, thanks ever so much for watching. Until the next time, keep it metal.